Welcome to Beyond Engaged and our discussion series on the No One Eats Alone program. I'm here with Harita, Alex, and Georgia, all Beyond Differences team board members. Last time, we talked about social isolation and loneliness, and I think we all agreed that our generation can really make an impact on this issue. Today, we are going to talk about how we can all be social isolation disruptors. We here at Beyond Differences define social isolation disruptor skills as the skills needed to build and maintain connection, repair disconnection, and end the cycle of social isolation and loneliness.
Yeah, I agree, Will. From the person who feels like they're always on the outside to those who have really strong connections with their peers, I think there are skills and practices for being social isolation disruptors that anyone can use at any skill level.
One thing everyone can do is flex their connection muscle. In other words, practice small gestures of friendliness with consistency and not expecting anything in return. Saying hi, smiling, making eye contact, saying someone's name. And maybe after that, you can graduate to extending compliments, such as, I like your haircut. That was a great presentation. It's the easiest and most effective icebreaker I've found yet. And for someone who has been feeling lonely or invisible, it changes everything.
That's a fantastic point, Harita. Because we can't always see that we brighten someone's day, these small, consistent gestures let us know that we may be having some invisible impact. And eventually, if enough people are just flexing their connection muscle on a daily basis, we can help to revolutionize our school cultures and to improve the self-esteem of the people who are making these connections and the people who are they making the connections with.
Going even one step further from flexing your connection muscle, another skill to practice is expanding your circle. Take advantage of all the opportunities you have to meet new people, whether it's by changing your seating arrangements in class or even at lunch, or by joining clubs in your community or sports teams. If you feel a little scared about going outside of your friend group, take that feeling and multiply it by 100, because that's what it's like for a student who is socially isolated or lonely, especially when your school is really cliquey. By expanding your circle and flexing your connection muscle, you are affecting the school atmosphere. This can be the difference between a cliquey school environment and a school that is welcoming and inclusive.
Yeah, I totally agree, Georgia. You can even go the extra mile from flexing your connection muscle and expanding your circle to being a connector. Connectors are awesome individuals who go out of their way to bring other people together. An example of being an efficient connector is introducing other people or inviting others to sit with you at lunch. Often the hardest part about being a connector is the initial step, or what I like to call the leap of faith. To me, what it really comes down to is just 20 seconds of all-out courage. After 20 seconds, whether it be you're talking to a new friend or reaching out to an old peer, all the butterflies in your stomach start to fade, and you realize all the stress and anxiety was just in your head. It's like a ripple effect. One action leads to the next, and there's no telling how far your courage can take you.
These are all such insightful ideas. Something else we can all do, and especially those who are feeling disconnected and socially isolated, is step outside of yourself. This includes volunteering, helping others, getting involved in a project you care about, or finding your passion. When we are feeling disconnected, we sometimes turn inwards. But by stepping outside of yourself, we get out of our heads and we stop focusing on these negative thoughts and we start to break this cycle of social isolation while simultaneously building self-esteem and resilience.
So one of the things that I like to do to step outside of myself is get involved in my local community and the local climate change scene. And getting involved in these efforts has made me build up my own self-esteem and resilience, and I've met a network of amazing people.
Those are great examples, Harita. Being involved in my community is helpful for me too. I also think, in addition to all these skills that we have covered, students can work together to create events and campaigns to bring awareness to this issue at their school and in their community, just like how Beyond Differences does with National No One Eats Alone Day.
Perfectly said, Georgia. Finding ways for students to partner with teachers and administrators can make all the difference within a school environment.
Awesome. Just to recap, flex your connection muscle, expand your circle, be a connector, and step outside of yourself. These are all fantastic ideas. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, whatever your comfort level is, you can find some way to be a social isolation disruptor. Practicing these skills consistently without expectations will have a snowball effect on your school community. Thank you, Georgia, Alex, and Harita. Let's all work together so that no one eats alone. Also, thank you to everyone watching, and we hope you enjoyed this episode.